Welcome everyone to the Industrialization and Localization Expert channel. I'm your host, Mwakole Lope, and today we are joined by Rosatom, the Russian nuclear technology firm, whereby we're going to be unpacking their role at the global space, how they play in the industrialization and localization of the technologies that they currently have. I'm joined by Mr. Rian Kola. He's the CEO, Deputy CEO of the South African and Central
and
Southern Africa region. And we'll go through a few highlights to showcase what they've been doing throughout the years. Thank you, Mr. Rian, for making time to us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. If you can, at high level, share with us who Rosatom is and what your role is in the industrialization and localization of the various technologies.
Sure, no problem. So firstly, Rosatom is the nuclear state-owned corporation of Russia. So we're 100% state-owned by the Russian government. And we are currently one of the only vendors in the world that offers the entire value chain when it comes to the construction of nuclear. So what I mean by that, we have everything from uranium mining, uranium enrichment, fuel fabrication, design and construction of nuclear power plants, operation and maintenance of nuclear power plants. So we actually operate all the nuclear power plants in Russia, and that makes up around 18% of Russia's energy. And then it goes all the way through to decommissioning of nuclear power plants. So just a couple key facts about us. We have around 262,000 employees, majority of which are in Russia. We have about over 300 companies that fall underneath our umbrella that take care of all of these different facets. And essentially localization plays a key role in what we do, localization and industrialization. So if you look at the nuclear industry in general, it is capable of, let's say, spurring industrialization on its own. And as a vendor, we actually use that as part of our solution.
Okay, and then if you can maybe also unpack to us, how many countries do you play a space in? Roughly, I know it doesn't have to be the exact number, but can you mention the continents?
Yeah, so I mean, currently we have a marketing office like ours on every continent. And we are currently constructing 34 nuclear units outside of Russia. So as you can see, we've got a huge portfolio of international projects. And we work very closely with our partner countries in not only localization, but also in human resource development, which is very important to spur on localization.
Okay, perfect. So 34 units outside of Russia is quite massive.
It is.
And if we bring it home, I know most of other African countries are fast-tracking their nuclear generation technologies. Can you maybe highlight one or two in the African continent who are already working closely with you?
Yes, certainly. So we've actually signed an EPC contract with Zambiaand to construct a Center for Nuclear Science and Technology. The center will consist of a research reactor, a nuclear medicine facility, a multi-purpose irradiation facility, a number of laboratories, as well as a training center. And essentially these centers for nuclear science and technology, like the one that is planned for Zambia, are a very key and very sensible first step into moving into a larger nuclear program as well. Because you have the training center on site, you're able to train cadres for the next, for the bigger plants essentially at the end of the day. So we've got that project in Zambia. We're moving very quickly in Rwanda, so we recently signed an intergovernmental agreement on construction of a Center for Nuclear Science and Technology in Rwanda. We've got numerous agreements, IGAs signed with the likes of Nigeria, Ghana, and yeah, so Ethiopia. So we are moving into the African continent. We're really seeing Africa moving towards nuclear. and not just from an energy perspective. We all know that Africa needs vast amounts of energy, and nuclear, as you know, is a reliable, safe, environmentally friendly, and economic means of producing power. But beyond that, it also, from the very beginning of a nuclear build program, spurs industrialization.
Yeah, no, that is core to that. And my view has always been that we build everything at the back of manufacturing. And you can start with capability assessments of whoever has got those in their countries, accredit them probably into your value chain, and thereafter they can actually be able to be licensed to even be in the global space.
Yeah, I mean, essentially that is the plan. So when you look at a nuclear project, though, a vast amounts of the actual project is civil works, it's balance of plant works, and the really technical nuclear stuff is done on the nuclear island, right? So in terms of existing construction companies, cement companies, manufacturers of wiring, sort of the real nuts and bolts that go into a nuclear power plant, yes, we need to have very quality products, but that is something that can come from the local base. So we work with the countries, our partner countries, to find partners to work on the project. Obviously, we need to audit them very extensively, and if they're not quite there, that's something that we can help with. So
closing the gaps.
Exactly. So we can help local companies close the gaps, upskill them to a point that they're able to produce or work on our plants. And as you rightly said, thereafter they are able to supply to other projects globally. So as Rosatom, we actually have an online supplier database, and numerous tenders go out on this online system, and the people in the database are able to bid for them as well.
Okay, so there's a perfect opportunity for everyone. You've had skills development programs. If maybe you can also just expand a bit on that, because skills, you mentioned human resource development.
Yeah, so I'll go back to us sort of Rosatom being a one-stop shop. So when we come in, like I said, we don't just construct nuclear power plants. We assist with our clients with nuclear infrastructure development, human resource development, public awareness. And these are sort of the things that need to happen really early on in a program, from the very beginning actually. Public acceptance is hugely important. Human resource development is hugely important, right? So when you want people to work on either the plants or on manufacturing facilities or construction sites even, prior to a build, you need to start upskilling them. So as Rosatom, we offer numerous scholarships to partner countries. So we've currently got over 1,500 global students studying at our universities in Russia, and currently we have over 300 African students who are studying at world-class nuclear universities in Russia, and they are doing this essentially to upskill Africa in terms of nuclear.
That was a massive impact, and this is the stories that we like to share. And lastly, on our side is to say, everyone else has heard what nuclear technology can do. The whole value chain, there's massive amounts of opportunities for everyone to play. And we need skills for the future. So the challenge to you out there watching is to say, which area do you think you can play in? The upcoming generations, which areas do we encourage them to start pursuing careers in, so that they can be able to contribute positively to the economic upliftment of Africa and globally as a whole, because I believe some of them will not only work in Africa, but they can be able to occupy any job or position anywhere in the world. And lastly, on our side is just to thank you giving us the opportunity to speak to you, and we shall be showcasing more of these similar stories. And as you busy execute other projects across the globe, please always invite us. We will be a mouthpiece for you, And back at home, we say continue watching the Industrialization and Localization Expert channel for more similar stories, and we shall meet again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.